writers who help current and future writers grow their brands, enhance and improve their stories, and provide them with the tools and resources to manage their own successes. My name is Chelsea Jones. I am the operations lead at WriteWorks. I have two published sci-fi romanticises with a third on the way, and I have an amazing peer with me today and a fellow coach, and Krista will introduce herself.
I am Krista Hickox. Am I? What am I? The business,
No.
what I don't know what I
Business
do here. I'm
strategist?
also an author of a contemporary romance and a mystery that just came out actually on Monday. So exciting stuff. Yeah. So hello, welcome, Moxie.
Yes,
I'm gonna
today we have
shoot it
an
back over to you.
amazing
Yeah.
today we have an amazing guest joining us, Moxie Minion, who is actually the person who introduced Krista and I. So it's really exciting that we get to do this.
I
But Krista
know.
is going to do your bio and background for us.
All right, you ready? Moxie? Hello. Hello. Okay, so Moxie Minion. She, her, is the creator of Your Queer Lit, a project that celebrates LGBTQIA plus books and authors every single day of the year. What began as a way to spotlight queer stories has grown into a thriving community of readers and writers with monthly themed recommendations, thoughtful content, and the biannual Book Blast event in August and February, which happens to be a birthday and by birthday, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'm just calling that out. So Moxie is passionate about making queer literature more visible and accessible, and she's especially honored to work alongside so many incredible authors whose words are changing the literary landscape. Literary landscape.
I like
When she,
alliteration.
yeah. It's so sexy. When she's not see, this is why I don't know why you choose me to do this shit, Chelsea.
You want me to finish it? You got
No, I got
it?
it. I got this. I got
You
this.
do.
This is my girl. I need to introduce her properly. When she's not curating queer reads, Moxie can usually be found buried in a sapphic fantasy, a dark thriller, or anything with witches, putting together book lists for fun, or chatting with readers online. Above all, she believes that queer storytelling deserves to be celebrated year round, and she's always excited to help readers discover their next favorite book.
That's me.
Mm, mm. I love it. I love it. Welcome, Moxie.
Yeah.
Thank
Do
you.
you have
Thank you for
anything you
having me.
would No, thank you for being here. Do you have anything you want to add to the bio, that amazing bio?
I think it kind of hits the mark. I really do. With alliteration and everything.
I did that for
Oh,
you.
that's great. That's right. I do think like this will be quite fun since we know you on that personal level too. It's like more of like the friend group as well. So I'm really excited to have you to come and talk to us about our themes for November. It's community, which I think you curate a lot of, especially like when you talk in your bio about, hey, you're talking to readers and you do a lot for the queer community in general, especially with your book blast that have helped us fellow authors and just bring so many people together. And then, of course, in December, it's Found Family, which I also think fits us because I would definitely classify you two ladies as that. So, we're here to talk about what that means and why it's so important. So, now, Moxie, you've been hosting social media channels for Year of Queer Lit for over 2 years. Is it 3 years now?
We're coming into our third year.
That's what I
We're
thought. So,
we're
almost
like
3 years.
2 full years. We just started the third in August.
Yeah. So, let's dive into that. What does that mean to you for Found Family or community?
So, a little backstory. Your Queer Lit is not my first social media channel. My first social media channel was a channel dedicated to the leather lifestyle and kink education. And I kind of got really fed up with that um, because it was the same conversation that people were having on a cycle. So whereas in the book community, we have the same conversation over and over of audiobooks are not books, which they are. Audiobooks 100% are books, or we needed to diversify our reading. The difference is like we have those conversations once, twice a year, whereas in the kink community, they are having the same conversations every single month. And I got really bored with it. And I decided that a friend of mine had just ordered I don't even remember what book it was, but it was a lesbian lit fic off of the TikTok shop. I was like, I wonder if I could read only queer lit for a year. And that's how it all started, is like I challenged myself to only read queer lit for a year. We are now like 2 solid years into it, and it's pretty much all I read. Like I feel bad if I read not queer lit sometimes. Um, and along with that, like this community and found family, like you were talking about, has formed because I have these little tiny, like little pipe dreams. I'm like, hey, I wonder if I could host a Stuff Your Kindle Day / book blast. And then I have amazing cheerleaders like you and Krista and my friend Hannah who are like, you could totally do that. And now like the last book blast we had, I don't even remember how many books. A
Over
lot of
300.
books.
Yeah.
A lot of books. And I mean in my mailing list for authors, because now I've had to organize everything, but like my author mailing list is over 250, I think I saw today, of
Amazing.
just queer
Wow.
authors that I have contact information for, and I can be like, hey, what are you working on? And then the readers mailing list is up over 600 now. So, like, there's a space for our community, and people want it and people want to see it. But like when I started it 2 years ago, I was seeing the same 20 books over and over and over. And but I don't know, it's about reaching out into the independent author community because big publishing houses are not publishing queer books as much as I think they should.
I have to
Sure.
agree with that full-heartedly. It's I think one of the things that I think I come to you for is like, I want this genre, or I want this type of like. I think we were talking about short books the other day, and I was like, I really just need a short book. You know what I mean? So I think it's a great thing to have, and it's so hard to find our community in general. And I think you do a fantastic job of bringing us all together. So if we haven't said thank you yet,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
You're so sweet.
exactly.
It's
Yeah. We love you.
Yes.
So Moxie, what drives your passion and motivation to continue this?
Visibility is a huge thing for me. Uh, a lot of people don't realize this, but I came out as officially queer in the pandemic. Like I had been queer, but like my work didn't know. The friends that were important knew, but like casual people didn't know. And so like the idea of visibility is the whole thing for me because like I worked from home for 3.5 years, 3.5 years during the pandemic. And when we came back to the office, I was like, going to, I'm not gonna be in the closet anymore. Like I had taken a new job, and when we came back to the office, I was like, okay, I need you guys to understand that I'm a little feral because you've left me be at home for 3 years. I, this wearing pants to work is gonna be a tough thing. I was like,
Yeah.
and B, I'm very, very queer. Like I'm wearing the rainbows. I've got the rainbow backpack that goes everywhere with me, and I'm not hiding that. And they're like, "Oh, okay, no big deal." But like some of my former people who I'd worked with in a different office were like, "Oh, I didn't even realize that." I was like, "Yeah, because it was really none of your business, but I don't care anymore." So visibility is the biggest thing for me. And that's what keeps me going every day. It's like, one, I'm also a slut for new books. I am.
Mm,
So like
samesies.
when I have an author reach out to me, it's like, hey, I have a new book. Would you like to arc read it? Yes, I would like to ARC read that, even though my ARC list is very long and I'm struggling to get through it some days, but I'm a slut for new books.
Yeah. Aw, we love that about you too. Yeah, you're always such a great support for those type of things too, right? Like, you're amazing. So this might be a little controversial of a question, but I have to ask it. Okay. So we're in horrific times with our government. So as a queer community, for sure, and for me, so you're a queer lit makes me feel seen and valued. Okay. What thoughts or advice do you have for our community members to remain positive during like this horrible, crazy time?
Um, so yeah, this is an insane time to say the least. Like that's the very minimum we can say on that is like this is absolutely insane. Like my parents are looking at me going, if you need to get out of the country, how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Like that's the level of insanity we are at. Um, I think the biggest thing to remember though is we've always been here. The queer community has always existed. There has always been trans people. And those who came before us paved our ways. And we need to keep stepping that line forward. Because if we just sit down and go, oh, not my problem, I'm going to live my own little life, then we're gonna disappear. I have a quote, and I don't remember where it came from. That is in my cubicle, and and the quote is, "You can't legislate my existence into extinction."
Hmm.
And that's the thing. It's like we have to keep voting. Midterm elections are coming up, and I won't fully get on that soapbox because I'll go forever. Midterm elections are coming up, and we have to keep voting because if we don't, they are going to try and legislate us into existence or back into our closets.
Mhm.
And I I'm very open. I have a trans partner, I have a trans son, I have a queer son. Like we are the rainbow family here. And you just have to keep voting and you can't mute yourself. And if it's a position where you can't be loud right now because of your family, because of things like that, that's okay. But know that the others are going to be loud for you.
Mhm.
And I hope that made sense.
Yeah, it makes
No,
complete
it
sense,
does. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing I like to, remind us as well is there's kids out there, right, that are figuring things out and it almost feels like sometimes the responsibility for some of us that feel strong enough to be out there that to remind ourselves that we were kids once, right? We were little queer kids looking for some type of representation in anything, a movie, a person, someone down the street, at a restaurant, that needed someone to look up to that, hey, it's okay to be me and to feel the feelings I have. And I can't walk away from that, being that representation for that little queer kid that needs somebody to look up to and be strong for them, and to be existing for them. So it's hard right now, and thank you for your words. I think it means a lot.
Yeah. I think both of you, come from this perspective too, because it's such a hard time to remain positive at all in our community or find like news that's accurate, I think as well too. So just having a community like the two of you to also like discuss this and talk about is very beneficial for I think a lot of us. Even the reminders to vote, right? Like if you've moved, go
Mhm.
and re-register.
Yeah,
And like
Have you
that's
that's
such like
true.
re-registered, Chelsea?
actually I did the other day. Thank you. No, it's good. But like that's a great reminder of like these are the small things that we can do to accomplish a little bit more. And being queer in our community doesn't mean you have to go out and stand in a parade or shout it from the streets. You can, absolutely, right? Like I also try to use my platform to remind people of queer and trans rights. It's like a lot too. But I think it's also important to say, hey, the thing that really matters is voting. That's going to change
Yeah,
us to get people that we need in office.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just flip the script here, go back to something a little bit different. So we talked and I'm like, I think I was like, we really need this serious question in here, Krista. Let's ask it. Moxie's
Yeah.
perfect to ask it to. So
And Krista's perfect to ask it.
I was like, Krista's so passionate about this. This is a good thing. Krista, I'll make you ask this question. Sorry.
I am.
Oh, I love you both. So our theme, we kind of talked about this. It's community, found family. Um, and we kind of talked about what does found family mean to you, or like, why that was so important to cultivate or let's say create it, right? As a queer person, I recognize you as another queer person as a leader in our community. And I think our literature world is a small niche or a smaller niche. When you say 600 readers and 250 authors, that is a smaller niche. I think some of those are a little bit global numbers for you too, which is like phenomenal, impressive. And I really want to come back to like, how do you continue to cultivate it? Like, I find as an author, being online and marketing, or like as you said, visibility, like we all want that, but it can be so draining and exhausting. So how do you maintain that and continue to build and enhance your brand?
So it's a lot of planning and a lot of Google Calendar, to be honest. Um, I sat down, God, probably like a month and a half ago, I think. And I literally sat down with the calendar and I planned content out. And I mean, I don't have like exact content out. Well, I do for the next 2 months. I have a video planned for the next 2 months for every single day. Um,
Wow.
but I have the theme set up for the rest of the year. So I have themes fully set up for a year. Like we are doing spooky months, so hauntingly good LGBTQIA reads. Next month is No Nuance November, so it's 100% my hot takes on books and publishing. So
I like
we'll see.
this. Yes.
We'll see how
Yay.
that
Nice.
goes.
That's awesome.
Um, and then like December was holiday and things like that, and it just goes on from there. So like planning is such a huge thing. Uh, Bulk taping things when I have time, that's
Yeah.
super important because like I do get tired, I do get burned out, but if I have something in my drafts that I can just go boom, post it, add a caption, I'm much better. Um,
Mhm.
and then I just started this other day because I I have raging ADHD. I have raging ADHD that I am also convinced that the perfect planner will fix. We have not found that planner yet. That planner does not exist. I'm convinced it's out there. I will buy every one. Yeah, yeah, it
Ooh,
hasn't fixed it yet.
fancy
But
Chelsea.
I have it.
while
I'm not
working,
using it.
yeah, while doom scrolling on, I think it was Instagram, someone's like, how to set up aesthetic notes for your uh Apple phone. So like my notes all have little headers now. So like I have a note for every book I'm reading. So
Oh,
that way, like as I'm reading it, because once again, ADHD, I will always have an audio, a physical, and an ebook going at the same time. So like if I click something, something clicks and I'm like, oh, I should include this in my little Instagram review. I have a note for it to go in and put it in. So really it's just a lot of planning. That's what it is. It's a lot of planning.
You're hired.
right. Like, come fix
Jeez.
us. I love
Oh
that.
gosh.
I think I'm one of the
I
only
mean,
plotters on the Rightworks group, so I really love hearing you say planning because like that's what a plotter does. We plot out and map and plan, and so thank you.
like these are
I
like my work notes. That's a chaotic my brain is.
My brain is chaotic. Like at work, literally, I have to be like, okay, I'm working on this case number. And after I'm done with this case number, I have to email it. And I like have to go down and write it out. So I highlight it off. So I know that I have done it. But yeah,
Uh,
My
yeah,
therapist calls
I'm
those my coping mechanisms, so that like, because like I'm like, oh yeah, I just walk in a room and I repeat 50 times what I need. That way I don't forget it. She's like, yeah, that's how you cope with your issues.
as
we all
long as
have our
it
things.
works.
Yep, we
Exactly.
all have. I always say, we all have a little something, something.
That's right. I love it.
Oh, is it my turn? My turn. Okay. So this is a very important question, and I yes. What draws you to a book or story? If you're so inclined, a trope map?
So, I I am a sucker for enemies to lovers. That
Mm.
that's right up there with enemies to lovers. But as long as it doesn't involve bullying. If it involves bullying, I will probably DNF it. I'm like, I don't need to no. Mm.
Mm.
Um, enemies to lovers, found family is like probably my biggest trope. But because of that, and it kind of ties into your found family thing, like my background, my family is 4 people. That's it. Me, mom, dad, and a sister. Uh, my dad's family, we were a little bit estranged from. My mom's family, it was also tumultuous. But my parents had this group of friends. And at any point in time, like my dad sang barbershop growing up. I literally have like 20 people that I refer to as Uncle so and so. At any point in time, I could have called them and been like, hey, I need help. Hey. I mean, like, when I was 19 and I wrecked my car, I called my Uncle Don, who is not related to me, before I called my parents.
That's
I was
sweet.
like, I'm not telling them. How are we going to do this? So, like, found family is super important to me, and especially when lots of queer people don't have that bio family. So, seeing the found family trope in those books means so much more to me than anything. So, that's my big thing. And we've discussed this a lot too. Like I have a big little bone to pick with people when they list something as a trope that's not a trope.
Mm.
Like I love those Instagram posts that's like our family, blah blah blah, spicy. But if it's just a relationship style, that's not a trope. That's not gonna women loving women, men loving men, trans, that's not a trope. Let's stop calling them tropes. It's just the way people exist.
What?
I have to say I love that. I mean, I think as an author, it helps us market our book to the right niche or audience. But it's almost like you're right, like we just need relationship map, trope map. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Or like, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which leads us into advice. What a great segue. If you could give advice to authors and or readers about queer community or found family stories, especially because that's one you love, what would that be and why?
Well, as far as authors, like the big thing is like write what you know. Um, as I mentioned earlier, and this is gonna possibly off-road everything. I'm sorry, Sky. Um, write what you know. I come from a kink and leather community. Like that was my community for years and years and years and years and years. I really, 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 it makes my brain itch to find people who are writing kink or writing the leather community that I'm like, do you know what we're talking about? Because fantasy is one thing and that's awesome, but if you're going to write it as a scene in your book that these people are participating in, let's make sure you know what it is. Do your research. Do your research. And as far as authors go, like, your audience will find you. Your audience will find you. And you'll find your people, and those people will be your biggest cheerleaders. And they will repost all your posts, and they will tag you every time they're like, hey, I'm looking for a book rec with this and this and this. I'll be like, hey, I've just read that last weekend when I was ARC reading. You need to go look up this book. Your people will find you 100%. As far as readers, follow every queer author you find, because queer authors are friends with queer authors. And even if that author is not like, there are 2 historical romances that I like. 2, that's it. But I follow like 4 historical romance authors because I find other people through them. And it's all a massive network. It's all a massive network game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's actually really, really great advice, both for like readers and writers, right? Like as you're growing your networks and wanting to expand your kind of your readers palette, so to speak, and for authors to get more engaged with readers and other authors, because that's like how you find your readers too, right? Is learning more about authors that write in your own genre too. So yeah, I think that's great advice. Thank you, Moxie.
You're welcome.
All right. So thank you for the amazing conversation tonight. Um, so how can people, both readers and authors, support your queer lit all year
Um,
round, not just
I'll
during, the sales?
Well, that's one of the big things. That's the big things are our book blasts. And as Krista did out me earlier, it happens on my birthday every year, which is August 26th, and then my half birthday, which is February 26th. Um, it just I I mean, if I'm going to give myself a present, I should give myself lots of work and then some free books. Like, it
Yes.
just worked out that way. That is 2 of the biggest things that we do all year round. Um, Going ahead and joining the readers or authors list. If you're an author and you want to get involved in our book blast, or you want to say, hey, Moxie, I have a new release coming up. Can you post this Instagram, or can you list in your newsletter? The answer 99% of the time is like, sure. Do you have a graphic for me? Um, Join the mailing lists, which are all on my link tree. So if you go to any of my bios, I'm Your Queerlit everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Lemonade. Yeah, pretty much I'm Your Queerlit anywhere. Um, and those links will be there. Those are 4. I think that's actually 4 the biggest ways to be involved. There's also the blog, which I'm not the best at updating, but that's going to be changing. And then so I talked about these pipe dreams things that happen,
Yeah.
and yeah. So in a year, so National Coming Out Day, I want to say, is like October 10th. I'm pretty sure that's the date. I've Googled it a few times. If I'm wrong, you should run it on the screen when the date actually is. So October 10th of 2026. So in 1 year, Your Queer Lit will be publishing an anthology. And it's going to be stories about coming out. It's going to be, Krista, did I not tell you about this? Did I only tell Chelsea because you're making amazing faces? Um, so it's going to be 13 stories. I will open up submissions probably in, my partner's, it's October 11th, not the 10th. My partner's showing me his phone. Um, but it will be 13 short stories, and we are going to go ahead and we are going to do that as a self-publish, but any proceeds that are made from the sales of that are going to be donated to Rainbow Railroad, which is a charity that exists in the United States, Canada, and the UK that helps people get out of countries and districts and stuff like that where they are being legislated against. So that is in the process. We have 1 year to do this because this is what I do. But I will be opening submissions up probably end of November, beginning of December. I already have an editor who is willing to work with us as far as copy edits and stuff like that. So like 100%, I would love the stories to be not needing developmental edits, but we can work with that if we need it.
No, that's amazing. What a that's such a cool project. That is such a cool project. Congratulations.
And if you
You
need some
heard it here,
developmental edits,
folks.
Yeah,
yeah.
you guys are the first to know officially. Like I've said it out
I
loud
mean,
to
like,
someone other than my partner. But yeah.
If you
that's
do need
that's
someone to work with developmental edits, though, we are, coaches. Like we're here to help. I'm sure a few of us
yeah,
wouldn't mind for, 13 stories or whatever. That would be great too.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
We are
I'll
here for
be
you.
leaning into that at some point, or just, leaning into the group chat going, tell me I'm not insane. Just tell me I'm not insane.
I think
You're,
that needs to be like a call out of like queer group chats are the best thing in the world. I think I have 4 of them and I just love my queer group chat. So thank you, ladies.
yes,
Yes, I live
seriously.
and die for it.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Moxie, is
Yeah.
there anything you want to share with us that we haven't asked you already?
I think I just did that.
I
I think I like
think you
fast
did
forwarded
too.
there.
You did. You
Yeah,
jumped ahead of me.
I did. I did. I apologize for that. But yeah,
No,
no, thank
no,
you so much for having me. Uh, I'm
no.
excited to see how your project goes, and we'll watch and see how this goes. And yeah, it'll be fun.
Gonna be
Yeah.
an exciting year.
It is. It 100%
Yeah,
is.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you for being here. We are so grateful that you decided to come on and to share your words of wisdom, your passion, your advice. You're just an amazing individual. We will make sure to share, if you want your link tree, we can share your link tree specifically. But yes, your career lit, all of the links will be available in the bottom of this video and when we share it out, because we'll put it on all of our socials as well. But make sure, for those of you watching, to come back, check out that link, and also check out our link plug here for WriteWorks. Make sure you're coming to review any of our upcoming events for authors and join our literary community as well and expand your found family, because that's what we're here for. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Moxie.